Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. Please forgive the background. We're doing some remodeling. It's got to get worse before it gets better. That is the way of things. Today, though, we got to talk about black and white. This situation is already insane. This is probably the whole mega evolutions in XY situation on another level. We have 2, 3, 400% increases on some of these black and white singles already. We have the new black and white set ETB selling for over $200 pre-order. We even have the Celebrations reprint of the Zekrom Reshiram Full Arts already going on a massive run as well. I truly do not know where this ends at this point, but hey, we're all along for the ride, so let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on. At the end, I'll give you my takes on everything. But first, I gotta shout out today's video sponsor. It is Misprint.com. They're a great place to not only buy, but also sell. And I have to show you this scanner tool they have. It's probably the best scanner I've ever seen for getting the value of your Pokemon cards and also being able to list them on the site. So Misprint literally has the best scanning app I've ever seen. Check this out. You can take a picture of multiple cards, run it through the scanner, and check this out. It doesn't take much time at all. It just reads the certification numbers. It checks all the different databases of what these cards are actually selling for. And it'll not only spit out the prices of the high and low, but also give you recommended value. So look at this, just like that, you know what the lowest ask and the highest bids are. They give you a suggested price and they do it for every single card. As many as you can fit in the picture, you can do at once on Misprint's app. So make sure to check out Misprint. The link will be in the description and the comment section below. So here we are, guys. Pre-sale of Pokemon Center Black Bolt and White Flare ETB set confirmed. $350. $350 for 2 ETBs. If you go to TCG Player, $204 for an ETB. And yeah, they're selling. They're actually selling for more than that. They were up to $250. We go to the White Flare ETB, $180, and well, yeah, it was actually selling for $200. It's actually down. It's down to $180, right? It's crashing, as they say on the YouTube land. We have the original black and white promo, or black and white full art Zekrom. This was like a $50, $60 card back 3 months ago in February. The lowest list now is $170. If you're wondering if anyone's actually paying that, well, yes, they are. There's sales at $150, $149.99, $160. That is what the card's valued at, meaning we've seen a 200% increase in the past couple months based on this news. The PSA 10, well, it was selling for about $11.50 back in March. Fast forward to now, we have sales actually happening at $2,500 for this PSA 10 card. And the lowest one listed is now $10,000. If you want one right now, buy it now. The Reshiram's even more crazy. This was a $50 card 3 months ago, or that was a 1 month ago. My bad. Back in April. 3 months ago, it was in the 40s. In the 40s. The lowest list is $250. And yes, although someone picked one up at a steal at $175, people were paying $275 and $280 for this card. Guys, we're talking, what is that, like a 5x? 500% in a matter of 1 to 3 months. That's happening. If we go look at the PSA 10 copies on the market right now, you have one at $3,850, and then it jumps to $5,000 and $5,500. If we look at what it's actually selling for, well, back in February, you could get one for about $1,200. Fast forward to today, we have one selling for $3,500, May 6th. So that's what's happening with the original black and white Reshiram and Zekrom. Now, if you want to pick up the next best thing before this black and white set comes out, we've got the Celebrations versions. It just has a little stamp on it if you don't mind the stamp. And those were, you know, they were $11 cards dropped in the 10s. Now it's already up to $15. And they are seeing a massive ramp up in sales volume ever since the news of black and white. Same thing with the Reshiram card. It was down in the $6 and $7 range. Now it's all the way up to around $12. And yes, it's what it is selling for, $10 to $12. And you can see the sales volume has had a massive run up recently ever since that news. And so that is where we're at, guys. That is where we're at with the whole Reshiram, Zekrom, crazy full art pandemonium madness with the black and white sets. If you're wondering what other cards are in black and white, I took the liberty of pulling up every single high dollar card. So I basically sorted by just the black and white era sets. These are the highest value cards in the entire black and white era. Now, the Reshiram and Zekrom don't even make the list yet, but here are some other cards if you wanted to make plays in black and white. You think black and white's going to pop off because of this new set. Well, for some reason, the Ultra Ball is still up there. The Secret Rare Ultra Ball and Plasma Freeze, go figure. They got the Secret Rare Charizard, Secret Rare Blastoise. They're very cool looking cards. You got some other great full arts, the Darkrai, the Lugia, Bianca full art, waifu action, I guess. Same with the Skyla and the Iris. You got the Rayquaza full art, very gorgeous. The Black Kyurem. You got the Groudon, the Latios, the Kyogre, Mew. We got Zekrom down here, a different Zekrom. You got Lord N. But guys, here's the thing, White Kyurem. As you can see, if you sorted by any other era, XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet, if you sorted by the highest value cards in the era, this page would be filled with some of the most gorgeous artwork we've ever seen created in Pokemon. As you can see, the black and white era is very lackluster overall. These are the highest dollar hits that you can find. Now, look, if I go to page 2, well, the quality strongly goes down, right? I mean, you're seeing like regular hollows at this point on here. It's not until you get to the end of the second page where you finally see the Zekrom and the Reshiram, and then we get to page 3, and, it's just other full arts, other hollows, things like that. Look, I'm not trying to be a black and white era hater. I'm not saying that some of these cards won't pop off. All I'm saying is you could definitely cherry pick some of these, and they're probably going to do good on, especially the most popular characters, the Charizard, the Blastoises, the Rayquazas, Lugias, obviously Groudon, obviously that Reshiram, Zekrom. But I don't know if just going and buying out all of these black and white cards is going to be the greatest idea. I think we may see some run up from the hysteria, but I think a lot of these will return to their old kind of levels when people realize, a lot of these cards don't really hold up with a lot of the new ones we have. And once this kind of, new wave of popularity kind of comes and goes, I think a lot of people will come back to their senses, and a lot of the stuff will kind of go back to normal. But that's my take. If you're looking to make plays on any of this stuff, my kind of advice would be, yes, I do think a lot of these singles are going to have run-ups. I think there's a lot of short-term plays you can make. If you haven't got your hands on black and white booster boxes at this point, well, all of them are already in the thousands, multiple thousands. I don't think they're going to crash, right? They're so scarce. They're even shorter printed than XY was. And so, I think they'll continue to rise over time, just like all steel product does usually. But I don't know if there's any like crazy massive plays there to make some quick gains in the next, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. I think it'll just be kind of relatively similar, stable gains. Other than some of the cards that stand the test of time and people just really gravitate to those, artworks, and they become kind of the, staples, I think most of these things will kind of return back to more normalized price points and more normalized gains over time. But with that being said, this black and white thing is going to be the real deal, guys. I don't know what these ETBs are going to kind of stabilize at near release. In my opinion, I think it'll be similar to Prismatic Evolutions. I think they'll probably be $100 or $100 plus ETBs. I don't think it's going to be $150, $200, but I could be wrong. We don't know how big, all the print's going to be. We don't know how massive the demand's going to be. But in my opinion, other than, again, finding drops, Walmart, Target, finding online drops with some of if anyone's in those notification groups, trying to, log on Pokemon Center to find things. Other than those scenarios, I don't think you're going to find these at MSRP again anywhere online. eBay, TCG Player, maybe some card shops sell its MSRP up to a certain amount to their loyal customers. But other than that, guys, the market price online, by and large, is likely not going to be MSRP. I know MSRP gang is going to hate me, is what it is. But and I do think there's going to be a huge demand for a lot of these cards, even though the celebrations, Reshiram, Zekrom weren't very much loved and they didn't have a lot of value. A lot of that could be attributed to Celebrations pull rates just not being very hard, and Celebrations was widely available when it was released. And so even though Celebrations doesn't have the most value in these cards, it doesn't mean if they make new rarities of SIRs or IRs in black and white that they're not going to be that way, especially with what we've heard about how many illustration rares are going to be in the set. I truly think a lot of the singles in the set are going to hold value. I think these ETBs are going to be very valuable. And if you're wanting to go make plays, I think a lot of people already did. I think, a lot of the easy money's been made. But if you want to dig through some of these black and white cards, maybe there's still some meat on the bone on some of those. But that's kind of what's going on in the market, guys. We're all going to find out together how this kind of stabilizes. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be back in a new one soon. We're out.